So we are back in the game room, and as you can see, there's a lovely stack of games there on that little table. And so that means one thing, it is pickups time yet again, and this one is actually the more modern pickups. So we're talking about some Switch in there, we are going to have a bit of 360, OG Xbox, some PSP and Wii, so there's some good stuff to come. But before we look at the actual pickups themselves, let's have a quick look around the game room, see what I've been up to, what I've been playing, if I made any changes. As you can see, I've done a little bit of maintenance on the Sega Limburg on the right hand side there. It was missing a light for a while. It wasn't the light bulb itself, but the actual socket was a little bit flaky. It was working from time to time, so I decided to fully change it to an LED after watching Scarlet Sprite's brilliant video, very helpful. So I knew exactly what parts to get, and very simple swap out, and it's done an absolute treat on that machine. It looks fantastic again. You can't tell that it's an LED compared to the natural light that was in there before. I also decided to upgrade my SCART to component converter. So my CRT here is not natively SCART, it obviously has a component connector in the back. And in the past I used a cheap Chinese box to do the conversion, and it just was terrible, the image quality. Technically it worked, but yeah, it was not good. So I decided to go down the Retro Tink route. It may not be the cheapest option at $70 US, but so the image quality is absolutely fantastic, and I am so happy with the results. So here you can see a little bit of super gun action with the IGS PGM board of Demon Front. And the footage here really doesn't give it justice. When you see it on the actual TV, it looks absolutely fantastic. So, what have I been playing? Well, as you can see, Super Monkey Ball is still in the Switch. So, yeah, we've been playing a lot of that with my boy. He absolutely adores that game. Did a little bit of a swap out on the Namco 256. So, out came Soul Calibur and in went Sengoku Bazooka Cross, which is a fantastic Capcom Arc Systems fighting game, which actually you don't need an arcade to play it, just play it on the PS2. And I've also been playing a lot of Street Fighter V, the arcade version, but I'm not fully convinced by it. I still stand by Street Fighter IV, the Ultimate Edition on the Taito X3, as being the best modern Street Fighter game. But you're here for the pickups, so let's take a look at them. So here we go, the pickups are here, and yes, I did move the table around. There's no way I'm going to do the video in front of that CRT again. Did it once, never again. So hot, so uncomfortable. So every time I do pickup videos now, I move the table around, give myself a bit of space, a bit of comfort. So what have I got for you guys this month? Well, I've got a little bit of Nintendo, so some Switch and some Wii, and of course this glorious green stack here indicates I've got Xbox. Not only 360, but OG Xbox 2, which I am absolutely loving collecting for at the moment. Such great games and so good value for money. Well, not all the games are great, and you'll see later, some of them are terrible. Anyway, PlayStation wise, it's not looking too good this month, only a small stack, but I'm still happy because I've got PSP games, and look, there's a sprinkle of Vita in there too, which always says a good sign of a good haul. So overall, I'm pretty happy with what I've got. It's a shame I've got no PS3 games this month, but you can't have everything. So let's take a look. We'll start off with the Switch, we'll move to PlayStation. So we're going to go red, white, green, blue. Okay, so first up, the Switch games. As you can see, they are sealed, they are unmolested. I've not played them yet. They're all from Pixel Heart, and yeah, I wanted to get Tanuki Justice. So I noticed that the stock was running low on this, and I wanted to get it before it's gone. I've been waiting quite a few months to get this. I've seen everybody else's videos. It looks fantastic. Really nice game. You know, it's a platform shooter game. So I'm really looking forward to play this one. I'm pretty happy I've got it before it's gone. Very similar with the next game, which is Wallachia, was it Reign of Dracula? This is a Castlevania knockoff. I think you've all seen this before. Both of these games, actually, everyone's got these games. I'm probably the last person to get them. So again, this is low stock, so I thought I'd grab it before it's gone. I think even in the States, maybe there's no more stock left, but I don't know. You check it out. If you want to get this game, yeah, definitely get it now. But while I was on the shop there, I thought, okay, for shipping wise, I'll see what else they got. And I went for the two latest games, which is Shingi and Okinawa Rush. Now, I know nothing about these games. Bit of a gamble. I'm trusting Pixel Heart will come through for me on these ones. But they did look quite good. They do look like brawlers and the sort of the style of Capcom. If you show that to me, then I'm going to go for it every time, right? So hopefully they play as well as they look. So that is the Switch stuff out the way. Let's get on to the tats, shall we? The Wii stuff. So this is one bundle. It all came from Singapore. The guy wanted 40 Singapore dollars for the whole lot. That's about £20, so it's not too bad. 30 US. And what have I got here? Obviously you get the Wii Sports. Oh, I don't know how many of these copies I've got. There's this. I need to sell them, get rid of them. But I was really after this one, NBA Jam. Now this is such a fun game. I had it on the SNES back in the day. I love this game. Not many basketball games I will play, but definitely NBA Jam I will play. Never played the arcade game, but yeah, I'm happy to get it. But it's also on the 360, I think. There's a couple of systems you can get it on, so it'd be interesting to see how it plays in the Wii. But I'm pretty happy to get it. It's nice to stay on Nintendo because of the SNES. I don't know, I felt that connection. Just me. Also in the lot, don't get too excited, it's not going to rock anyone's boat. It is SpongeBob Squiggle Pants. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't even have the little drawing pad. I'm probably going to sell this on. I don't have much space for much more Wii games like that. Next up is Deca Sports 2. Now this looked a little bit interesting to me because of it looks like maybe it's something to do with Data East, because in Japan Deca is Data East. And it's by Hudson Soft, so I thought, yeah, I'll take a look at this. It looks like your classic sort of Wii sports game. You've got a bit of skiing in there, it's a little bit different. But yeah, looks a little bit of fun. See how it is, and then see if it will stay or I'll move it on. Next one is a wrestling game. I have nothing, no attachment at all to wrestling games, so I don't know what I'll do with this. And it's SmackDown Raw 2008. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of wrestling games, so probably move this one on. And last is Blazing Angels. Now this is a fun game. I do have the 360, but it'd be interesting to see how the controls work with the Wii. Yeah, this is a really good fun game. I think it was also an arcade game as well. I've never seen it, but I do believe they got maybe a modern arcade game of this. So yeah, Blazing Angels, Squadrons of World War II on the Wii. So that's it for that bundle. So next up is the 360 games. So I've got a couple bundles in here actually. So let's have a look here. So the first bundle is this one here. And the guy wanted, that's right, he wanted 10 each, but I got him down. I knocked him down to 40 for the 5? So just under 10 for each one. So that's probably about 4 per game. So I was after Castlevania, that's the one that caught my eye. Obviously everybody knows about this game. It's the first one, Lords of Shadows. I think I got the second already, so I needed to get the first one. It's a Marmite game, people love it or hate it. I kind of like it, I like the second one anyway, so I'm pretty happy to get this one. It is the Asian version, NTSJ, and yeah, Asian version. Next up as well is Gun, so I was pretty happy to get this one. I loved it on the GameCube. It's a really fun game. Kind of underrated. No one really talks about Gun so much, but it is a pretty damn good game. It's a pretty damn good game, yeah. Anyway, it's a good game because everyone talks about Red Dead, but Gun is actually pretty good as well. So I'm happy to get it on the Superior system, so I'll be checking that out. And the other one is a game I've never played. This is one that's always passed me by, this series. Again, I think it's a game that some people like and some people hate, but it's the second one from the Kane and Lynch series. This is Dog Days. So it kind of looks interesting. I do like first-person shooters. I'm not sure if it is a first-person shooter or if it's the third person. I think it's a first-person shooter. Strange, it's by Square Enix. I didn't realise that. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I'm happy to get this one. Never played it before. The other one is Velvet Assassin. Now this looks really interesting. I'm surprised he had this one. Is it a PAL version of the game? I don't know if it's a PAL exclusive. But yeah, it's like like a stealthy game where you're like a World War II resistance woman and you have to go around killing people. It looks pretty interesting, looks pretty cool, the screenshots, and I saw some videos online as well. It does look pretty cool, so I'm pretty happy to get this one. The last one is what should I call this one? Yeah, it's Gears of War, but it's a bit of a Frankenstein piece. So obviously I just see the pictures, I don't actually see the games when I buy them, right? I'm getting it from Singapore, so all I see is the covers. I don't ask too many questions just in case, you know, he probably looks up stuff and it becomes more expensive, so sometimes a bit of a gamble, and this is when the gambles don't pay off. So yeah, I saw it was Gears of War 2, so I could see that right from the actual cover, and I got this version of it, of Gears of War 2, so I was thinking, okay, this looks very different, what the hell is this, right? It's not a steelbook, so okay, I'll check it out. I'll gamble, I'll get it. And it's a Frankenstein. So what you have, you got Gears of War 2 box, you got the artwork for Gears of War 2, but you have Gears of War 3 from the collector's edition, I think, because it's the same as what's inside here. So this is the collector's for 3, so I don't know what's going on. The guy just made it up, he made up his own game. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to trick anyone and sell them the Frankenstein game back, but I might see what I can do to build it back up to what it's supposed to be, and maybe to sell the game separately. So let me know if anyone knows what it should be, what the style of game is, and whether it's kind of outer sleeve or whatever it is. I'm sure a lot of people know. So that is that 360 bundle gone. The Frankenstein has left the building. So next bundle we have got, yeah, it's very similar. You got 5 games, but the guy was, really difficult to say the least. He had maybe about 15 games, and I actually wanted about 10 of them. So I was trying to haggle him down. I said, because some of the games aren't worth 10 Singapore dollars. So some of them were worth half that, and he just wasn't having it. So I said, okay, right, I will just go for the ones that are actually worth that money. So I went for all his expensive games, or all the games that had some value that I had interest in, and let him keep all the ones that were worth like 5 Sing. So the first one is Adventure Time. Now this is actually a pretty good game. So it's by Way Forward. That always shows you that it's a good game. It's kind of like a Zelda game. Maybe, I don't think it's particularly in-depth RPG, but I've only played about 20 minutes. I put it in the Xbox One, it's backward compatible, so yeah, it looks pretty good fun for what I spent with it. It doesn't look very deep, but it looks a bit of fun. So I'm happy to get that one. And the other one I wanted to get was the Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. I know I've got this, I think on the Wii U, but I think there's 2 of them. So there's obviously the first one, but they're very good fun. It's just it's a simple platform game. It's not going to be too complicated. It's not too exciting, but definitely a good laugh. Worth playing. Also, it's quite good for kids as well. It's not too complex. So happy to get that one. The other one, I know there's a bit of money in this one. Not too much money, but I know it's not a cheap game. It's also on the Wii U. I believe the PAL version of this is really super expensive on the Wii U. But it's filled with some fun, quest for cool stuff. Unfortunately, I can't play this one. I put it in the Xbox. It doesn't work. It's region locked. So after me last month saying how great the Asian region is and how you can play every game, well, not all the games. And this is one you can't play. So yeah. Anyway, I'll be picking up probably a US Xbox 360 in the future anyway. So I'll see what I do with this. Either I sell it or I'll keep it. Next one, a bit of a gamble. I didn't know anything about this one at all. It's Sacred 2. It's not too much of a gamble because it's a PAL version, so I could easily sell this one off when I go back to the UK if I don't like it. But it first looks like a kind of like a Diablo, I guess. I've only loaded it up. You'll see the footage anyway. But first impression, I would say it's kind of like a Diablo game. And the last one in the bundle is SpongeBob Hero Pants. So some of the SpongeBob games are actually pretty good, but I'm not sure about this one. But I'm sure my son will enjoy this one, so I'm happy to get this. And again, it's got a bit of value, so I could easily sell this on if I wanted to. So next up is a game that I just got by itself, which I pretty rarely do because of the shipping costs. It's not a very efficient way of doing it, but I really wanted to get this game. So it's Azuras Wrath, and as you probably know, this one goes up and down in price. Very desirable, I guess, because of the same reason why I got it, because Capcom. Yeah, you got me at Capcom. But yeah, if you see this in a bundle, straight away resellers have grabbed it, so I was happy that I finally got it. Got it for 25, which is not too bad. 25 sing, that's about £12, which is pretty good considering resellers are selling it for very 35, 40 maybe sing. So yeah, I'm happy to actually get it now. But I've been looking for maybe 3 or 4 years, and I never actually looked up what kind of game it is. So I was quite surprised when I fired it up. And I was expecting it's Capcom, of course it's going to be a brawler, it's going to be adventure, but it's not. It's one of these click events games, so it's basically is an anime. You're just clicking through it, it's just story driven, but the actual graphics, yeah, it's beautifully done. It's just like watching a movie really, and yeah, it's a good storyline as well, fairly interesting, so I'm pretty happy with the game. But I was just shocked. I thought, hold on, what's going on here? And then, yeah, I think it's that way anyway. I've only gone through the first couple of like stages or phases of the game, if that's what it's called. But yeah, it seems to be purely click event driven. So we'll see what it turns out to be. But I'm definitely going to see what the story turns out like. But happy I've got it finally. Azuras Wrath, Capcom. Yes, and next up is just a very small bundle. It's 2 games, and 2 games that cost me. It was at 15 Singapore dollars for the pair, so that's like £7, just over that, maybe £8. And first up is War Tech. So this game, Ubisoft, what did you do? So this is actually Seiko Rondo. So I've actually got the arcade of this game. It's a Naomi game, or the SP anyway. I think it's the same as this one. But it's a cracking game. It's a really good arcade game. It's by G-Rev. So I don't know what Ubisoft were doing getting this. I don't know how did they let Ubisoft take this game? And why did they let them call it Wartech? But yeah, if you like shooters and you also want a good versus game, I highly recommend this. There's also the sequel as well. I don't know if it made it to the US or the West, but certainly there's a Japanese sequel to this as well. Definitely recommend it. I think I've also got a limited edition as well. I think on the PlayStation 4 that came out a while ago. Really good game, and G-Rev are really a cool developer. They make some really good arcade games, especially around the time of the Dreamcast and Naomi. So really good shooters. So I was happy with that one, but the next one, oh, so disappointed. Zoid's Assault. Oh, I was so looking forward to playing this. It looks like a strategy game in sort of the vein of like Dune 2 or Command & Conquer. And I wasn't really into Transformers as a kid, but I was into Zoids. So I was really looking forward to this. And yeah, stuck it in the Xbox and nothing happened. And so I said, okay, right, I'll try the Xbox One, put it in, and it thought it was a Blu-ray, a movie or something. And it just came up with a screen saying, please insert into an Xbox. Oh. So I inspected the disc. The disc looks like it's totally unused, apart from one little area on it. So it seems to have some sort of defect in the outer rim of the actual disc. So it must have been during the manufacturing process. Yeah, the seller knew this for sure and didn't tell me. So I'm gutted I can't play this, but yeah, this is kind of an expensive game. So at least I only need to get the disc-only version of it. But I was extremely disappointed with that. But it is what it is. Like I say, you win some, you lose some. So next up is the OG Xbox games, and I actually got 2 bundles here. So first up is from Singapore, and the last one is just a couple of games actually from eBay. But yeah, from Singapore, the guy had about 15 games. I just picked out the ones I wanted to get, and he was charging like 5 sing per game, which is very reasonable. That's normally the going rate for Xbox games for OG. And it's going to be something pretty special if you're paying more than £5 for one of these games. So that's like £2.50, maybe about $3 or something. And so first up, I have got Delta Force Black Hawk Down. Nothing to do with the movie, unfortunately. It's not a particularly great game. It's not a particularly bad game. Very, very average. There's much better shooters on the OG than this one, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But you're not paying a fortune for it. What, for 5 Sing? That's not bad at all. That's a great thing about the OG Xbox, is you can gamble on these games. You don't feel too bad if they miss the target. And unfortunately, this one does miss the target. I won't be playing this one in the future. It didn't resonate at all with me. Next up is, I would say this one's slightly better, but still a disappointment. It's Air Force Delta Storm. Now, when I saw this, I thought, yes, this is Konami's answer to Air Combat, but no, it's not. The Namco games are much better. They're more arcadey and yeah, a lot more fun. So a little bit of disappointment, but still worth playing. If you really like your fighter games, your airplane fighter games, you'll probably enjoy it nevertheless. So it's worth it. You know, doesn't have to be as good as the Namco games. You can still enjoy it. But for 5 Sing, yeah, I would say, yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's a hit. I wouldn't say it's a miss. But we've got a little bit of damage on it, unfortunately. So it's, yeah, a bit of cut on the plastic, but I can replace the case if I need to. But yeah, a bit of an average game really. Next up is actually a fairly decent game. I kind of like this one. This Blowout. So it's actually in every single system. I think it's on the GameCube, it's on the PS2, every game. It's probably on the Jaguar as well, probably, and on the Switch as well. But yeah, it's kind of like a Metroid Dread. But obviously not as good. So it's a 2D sort of Metroid. I wouldn't say Metroidvania. It's more like just a 2D Metroid game. You just got to go and you're on a spaceship and just shooting aliens and defusing things and activating new areas. Just your general bog standard Metroid sort of stuff. But it's a lot of fun, and for the price it is, yeah, it's definitely worth it. I definitely recommend you get this one. Next up is definitely a miss, and that is Van Helsing. So unfortunately, when I got this, I put it in my Xbox, wasn't working. So okay, I cleaned the disc, and close inspection, the spine is totally gone on it. So there's about 3 or 4 splits there on the spine. It's never going to work. Van Helsing is definitely deceased. He's dead. He's gone. Very disappointing. So I'll probably try and get a loose disc of that one. The other one I got, not a game, but it's a demo. Don't normally pick up demos, but I thought, why not? Just add it to the bundle. You know, it's going to be shipped together. Yeah, it's official Xbox magazine. So I don't know if you guys know that magazine. It's issue 15, April 2003. For the people that want to know, I know there's people that collect demo discs. If I see them, I'll get them, but I'm not that bothered by it. But it did have a preview to the next game, so that's quite cool. And this is Crimson Sea. So this is also an Xbox exclusive. I believe the sequel's on the PS2. I don't know if the sequel's also on the Xbox as well, but this one's definitely only on the Xbox. And yeah, it's by Koei, so it's kind of like a hack and slash. It's really good fun actually, and the graphics, the cutscenes are amazing, really amazing. Visually, actually stunning, but the dialogue will absolutely, you'll piss your pants when you hear the dialogue. Some cracking lines in there, really cracking lines. Playability, yeah, it struggles a little bit there. A bit disappointing. Maybe after some time you'll get used to it, but the camera is not that playable. You do get a little bit stuck behind when you're trying to fight the boxes and stuff. You can struggle. It's not very easy to turn around. The levels are a little bit linear as well, so you know, that's a little bit of a disappointment there. But definitely the storylines are kind of interesting, and it's definitely worth picking up, especially for if you can pick it up for like 5 or even 10 Singapore dollars, probably worth this game. So I would recommend this. This is a hit. So that's it from that little bundle from that seller. So I actually got the next ones from eBay. I'm laughing already. Oh, God, sneakers. So I don't know if you know about this game, but I certainly didn't. Oh, I've got to take a sip of my drink before this. I need some rum and coke before I discuss this game. Yeah, sneakers. So I was actually looking for Japanese exclusives, and I came across a game. It's not, obviously it wasn't called Sneakers, some random Japanese name, and it had an English on the box saying "Have a nice day," and that's what is that? That's so cheesy. And it said only on Xbox. I thought, hold on, I've never seen this game with some mice on a Western game. So I looked it up, and yes, the US had a release of this game, only on Toys R Us apparently. So it's exclusive to them, and to be honest, they can keep it. But it's terrible. It really is. It's very cheap, thank God. It was only about $5 US. But there's something really unsettling about this game. It's on multiple levels. Even the first scene you see of the mouse with the blue eyes, it just freaks you out. And you sort of go around the house looking for rats. You just basically take a picture of the rats or something to make them go away. And then you got like some buddies with you as well that help you. And it's just the way they scurry around, and the way they either they waddle or they scurry. You'll see the footage. It's really unnerving. It's a terrible game, terrible concept. It's just shite. Very disappointing. Stay clear of this one. Definitely a big miss. And we're going to roll here. So next up is another exclusive to the Xbox. So I saw from the seller on eBay. So I saw what else he's got, and he had a discount if you buy more than one. You get 10% off, like a lot of these sellers do on eBay. But so I targeted the only Xbox games. And this came up. This is where you want to do your research. Again, this is very cheap for a good reason. It's Stake Fortune Fighters. As again, it is absolute shite. So all I can imagine is they were developing the game. They were trying to make a brawler or maybe even a fighter. They realised it wasn't going to work out. So they thought, okay, let's do a Power Stone game. And that also didn't work out. It's terrible. It's very, very boring. The weapons are not particularly interesting, and it's just stupid. Level design, not interesting. Even the weapons you try and attack your opponents, you do damage to yourself half the time. It's just ridiculous. It's shite. Avoid it. So that's double shite on eBay. The last one, again, only on Xbox. Am I going to go for a hat trick of shite? Fortunately, this is not too bad. So this is Knight's Apprentice. It's kind of, I would say it's kind of like a Spyro. Yeah, it's definitely a platforming game. It's a collectathon, but I do feel it's a bit like Spyro because the level design's very similar, like floaty islands, and yeah, you basically got to collect certain items to be able to progress. You collect stuff from Merlin. Pretty simple, not too complex, as you can imagine with this kind of game. But yeah, fighting the enemies is a bit boring. It's not great. They've got the little goblins you attack. So it's okay, but it's compared to these two, it's amazing. So I would say if you're going for the exclusives, definitely worth a shot, especially it's cheap as well. I think this is only about $5 USD as well. I think maybe I spent about 20 US for the 3 games including shipping, so not bad at all. So that's one's out the way, thank God. Next is the PlayStation stuff. I need another sip for that. So, for the PlayStation, the first bundle I got, again, all these are from Singapore. So, the first 3 games. So, he was actually selling this one. It's a PSP Friend and Foe Spider-Man. So, this is one I've been after for a while. He's wanting, I think he's wanting 10 Singapore dollars for this, but again, this is the sort of mark I'm after, is about 5 Singapore dollars for a PSP game. It's got to be something really good for me to go beyond that. And so I had a look what else he had to see if I could actually sort of bargain with him. And he had a couple of Vita games. So he had Assassin's Creed 3, and he also had Sword Art Online. Now I checked Assassin's Creed 3, I always thought I had this one, but obviously I didn't have it. So it's one of those games you always think you have. Because I must have passed on this about 4 or 5 times thinking I had it. But it's exclusive to the Vita, so it's Liberation, it's a side part of Assassin's Creed 3. It's pretty good. And the other Sword Art Online as well is was selling, I think, about 20 Sing for each one of these. So I've sort of gone down to 40 for all 3 games. So Sword Art Online I'm not really going to be playing, but my daughter is a big fan. She actually cosplays as one of the characters, or she did do a couple of times in the Singapore Comic Convention. So she'll be playing that one, not me. So the next one is a very tiny little bundle, and I got it purely for Wipeout Pulse. Now I've been trying to get this one for the longest of times. I've never seen it come up, and this is the first time, so I actually grabbed it. I've got Pure, but I don't have Pulse. I love the Wipeout games, but together with Lego Star Wars, it was 15 Sing, so it's not too bad. I can resell this one, I don't need it, I've already got it. But yeah, I love the Wipeout games, and I highly recommend get the component cables for the PSP, play it on the big TV, a lot of fun. That's that one out of the way, and the next one is just one bundle. So again, it's a seller selling 5 Sing each, and he had about 15 games. I only needed these ones, so if I see a PSP game for 5 Singapore dollars, I'm going to get it. So excuse some of the titles. So I'm not going for a full set, but you know, I will just pick them up and see where it takes me. I'll go with the wind on the PSP, see how many I can actually get. I've got quite a few now, so we'll see. So first up is Cake Mania Baker's Challenge. So yeah, classic title, you always want this one. I'll get the other one as well, which is the same. It's a cookery as well, so it's Dinner Dash. Yeah, I haven't tried it, I haven't played it. Transformers the game. So I have the other Transformers one, but I don't have the game, so pick this one up. But definitely one I wanted to get, and I will play this one as well, is X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse. So it's a pretty decent game. And also that one fetches a bit of money as well. So for 20 Sing, that's £10 for the 4 games. That's well worth it. So I'm really happy with that. So that was the pickups. So I hope you enjoyed that. But no PS3 games, unfortunately, but maybe next month I will have some. So you made it to the end of the pickups video. Congratulations, and thank you so much for watching. Bit of a long one, I know, I'm sorry. I didn't even include the Master System games, which I'll do another video on. Also getting a Holy Grail VS cart in. So I thank you again, and I will see you later.